Right, so this is crushing down into a nice paste now. Magic. So, what we're going to do, scrape that off. Now, if you're using hot chilies, I would scrape it off maybe with a spoon rather than your finger, because then you'll have a spicy finger all day. So, I'm not going to wash that up just yet, because I might need to crush more down, but we'll see. I think we're pretty much done for that, so... I'm going to get a fair bit of dry rub in here now, mixed in with the wet rub. They miss a lot. I know, I don't know if there's an issue with it, because whenever they go off, I've noticed some of them, for some reason, don't go in properly, so I don't know why that is. I don't know what it's being caught on, because we said this the other day when I changed the cup over, right? And I don't know, it's a bit weird. They just don't seem to go in properly. I don't know. Very strange. The other day it was really bad though. I think it's a lot better than it was. But anyway, I put in about a teaspoon of cayenne. And I want to put about 2 teaspoons, or about a tablespoon of celery salt. So we don't need to put any seasoning on this. So celery salt, fantastic. 2 teaspoons of cumin. 1, 2. So I'd say about roughly a tablespoon, just to make life a little bit more easier. Give or take. It doesn't have to be so exact, guys. So I'm going to take the top off this. So this is smoked paprika. About the same again. I need to give this a bit of a shake. There we go. Just to break it up. Let's get that out. That's a bit better. So roughly about a tablespoon of that. Yeah, they do. They kind of bounce off each other, and then they just kind of go off instead of into the cup. So, I know. Well, we've already put cayenne and pepper. We don't want too much cayenne in there. I've got a little bit of mustard powder to pop in here. Not too much, though. Just a little bit. Or you can use Dijon mustard. You know, wet or dry, whichever's easiest for you. So I'm going to put a little bit of black pepper in there. I'm going to say about a teaspoon. Teaspoon of black pepper. The Christet, how's it going, my friend? Morning, chef. Good morning, Christet. How are things? Welcome back. How is your wonderful Sunday going, my friend? Hope you're having a fantastic morning. And I'm going to put a little bit of Cholula sauce on afterwards. So we're going to get this rub all kind of mixed together. So it's a bit of a mix of a dry / wet rub, but it will just basically mix together, and it will go onto the ribs as it is. So let's get that on there now, and we'll just put this on top. So let's get this on the plate. And then what we're going to do is going to rub this all over the ribs. Give it a rib rub, and then we're pretty much good to go. And we can get that into a casserole dish. We can cover it with a little bit of water to braise, because we don't want it drying out. Or if you've got some stock, you can put stock in there, but honestly, really, you'll be absolutely fine with the water as such. So, any idea what I should be looking for in a honing steel? Oh, you mean for a steel sharpener? Is that what you mean, Moogie? You're very good with your pronunciations on these professional equipment, but I'm guessing that's what you mean by a sharpening knife. The one I've bought, that one I just used, that's a Wusthoff's diamond steel steel. You can get it on Amazon for around about between 20 to 40 pounds, I think. So if you look on Amazon, that's where I bought mine. You might be able to get them cheaper elsewhere. Just have a look. If not, you can just use a what's it called? A whetstone if you prefer using that. I would say whetstones are probably a lot better than that, and they get them a lot more sharper and finer. But you know, I haven't really used whetstones. I'm more happy with the steel, and they seem to do the job all right for me. But you know, it's entirely up to you more than anything. No, you don't have to go with one certain thing. So you know, it's entirely up to you what you want to do with that. So. And bearing in mind, when we put the water on this, all those flavours will go up into the water and it will help get into the meats as well. So put the rest of this on the top here. So I'm just going to rub this all across. So, you know, even if I've missed like 1 or 2 places on the ribs, there's still the flavour's going to get in there either way about it. So, do you know what I mean? Either way, it's all good. Let's get these beautiful ribs in the oven soon. Now, I want to cook them down to a point where they're nice and soft, but I don't want to a point where they're just literally, the bone's going to be falling apart. They're not holding together very well. Yes, I want them tender, but I want them to a point where I pull them out before they literally do. They literally fall off together, or like, you can't think of the words for it. I want them tender. I do want them breaking apart, but I still want them to hold their initial shape, so to speak. So, so I'll take them to a point. So that's how far we're going to be doing it. Barbecue pork certainly is weird things. No bacon here though today, unfortunately. No bacon though. Right, cheeky bit of Cholula as well. Beautiful. So, bit of Cholula on here. Magic. So I'm going to put that aside. Evening, chef and chat. Good evening, Road. Is Road DK? How are things with you, my friend? How is your wonderful Sunday evening, or is it Saturday evening? Whichever way it is. But I hope you're doing fantastic. It's great to see you. Welcome back. So, what we're going to do, we're going to leave that where it is. The membrane, there isn't actually any membrane. There's only a little bit of excess sinew on there, but bearing in mind, right, when that actually breaks down into the oven, it'll actually break it down. It'll break all the sinews down, and you know, it will be absolutely fine where it is. I mean, the chain's taken off it already. It's already been pre-prepped up, so it's pretty much good to go. But any sinews and that, it's pointless taking off, otherwise you'll lose half the meat. And second of all, when it's cooking down in the oven, they will actually break down, they'll soften up. That's what happens when you braise things down. When you're cooking them, they will actually break down over time. So all the tough bits, they all get broken down into nice tender deliciousness. So we've got ourselves beautiful ribs here. Look at that. I'm not saying that, but that's a perfect fit. So let's get all those lovely little marinades, all the rest of them going into the dish. So pop these in here. So that's pretty much good to go. I'm going to put this. I'm going to fit this in the. Don't hear Tux hear me. Oh, I'll put it in the sink. That'll be fine. I'll wash it up later on. It's just a little bit big to sit in the sink. That's all. Rightio. Cheeky washing up, hey? So, that's pretty much good to go. What we're going to do, top this up with some hot water, and we're going to foil it over. We don't need to put parchment. Reason for it, because there's a lip on it. It's not going to touch the meat. So, usually I put parchment, and I also usually put foil, just to help it stop sticking, the foil sticking to the meat. But due to it being such a deep dish, the foil's not going to touch it, so it's just fine with foil on its own. So that isn't a problem. So yeah, it's Sunday evening. I'm well. Just finished eating some smoked beef ribs. I cooked also to save the trouble to its roadkill. Oh well, I hope you enjoyed them either way. But that sounds fantastic. So very, very kind of similar. You did some ribs here. Beef ribs, was it? So, but didn't you enjoy them? You said it was roadkill. Didn't they turn out very well? Right. So what we're going to do? Top this up with some hot water. So they'll be submerged, so we can start braising these off nicely. So we've got all those lovely flavors in there as well. So we got some garlic, we got rosemary, we got thyme. I'm gonna pop a little bit more in there. So. Just to cover them, and then what we're going to do, put them into the oven to cook very slowly for about 2 hours, I'd say, give or take. 2 hours should be sufficient enough. We'll have a check on them afterwards. If we need to top it up with some more water later on, we can do, just to stop them drying up, really. So let's get some foil out now and give this all seal up. Have you seen this crap about tinfoil causing long-time illness? Nope. And I'll carry on using tinfoil for the rest of my life, so... no. Who said that, or where's that source come from? That's quite hilarious. To be fair, you could probably probe everything that you use in life and say it's bad for you. Breathing gas stoves is extremely bad for your health. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, we still do it at the end of the day. We still have gas stoves. So, do you know what I mean? It does get to a point it's a little bit silly. If it was that dangerous, would you really think they would be giving us tinfoil over the last God knows how many years? Let's be honest here. So, yeah, ribs do not take like 5 minutes. They're not a thing you can just like ping ding in a microwave. Do you know what I mean? It's a little bit of a long process to do. Believe you me, 2 hours for this stream goes very, very quickly. So these will be done before you know it. Believe you me. They do not take... it doesn't take a short amount of time, but time we've done all the other jobs, we'll come back to it. They'll be all nice and ready and good to go. So... Californians now try and put cancer warnings on all coffee. They may as well just put cancer things on everything. To be fair, you know, if you're trying to look after yourself, I think it's just having things in moderation and not having the same thing every day. And I really do think that is like the key to kind of looking after yourself well, is to have balance in your life, have balance of food, and you just have things in moderation. Do you know what I mean? Not go crazy with one certain item of food, regardless if it's healthy or not, because even if, like, I know like fruit is very healthy for you, but if you eat fruit day in, day out constantly, it's not very good because of the sugar levels in it. So, do you know what I mean? It goes with anything to show that as long as you don't go in over amounts of eating the same thing or using the same thing all the time, then you should be absolutely fine. Don't get me wrong though, I know I use quite a fair bit of yogurt, but there's certain days where I don't use yogurt, and do you know what I mean? But I substitute that because I don't actually use milk, so I can get my calcium intake, so hence why I have small amounts but more often, so which is absolutely fine, there's nothing wrong with it. But there are things like where you're eating large amounts every single day, which is not good for you, so, you know, as I said, it's just all about balance and moderation more than anything, so, you know. Drinking my coffee right now. Yeah. Stay away from my coffee. 2+ hours because it's pork. Coffee. What is wrong with people? I don't know. Who knows? Ewan, how's it going? Good morning, Chef. Good morning, Ewan. How are things with you? Are you enjoying the rainy weather in lovely Wales? Is it raining up north for you over there? It is raining down here. Very nice and delightful. I need to open that window slightly though to get some ventilation in here, otherwise I'm just gonna suffocate all day on the heat. So from the oven. There we go. Got that on ventilate now. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna give this a bit of a scrub and a wash because it's actually, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna flip this over and we're gonna wash it afterwards, so that's fine where it is. So what we're going to do, we're going to start making the healthier barbecue sauce, which I'm going to be doing for the ribs. So we're going to get that on the go, so that has a fair bit of time to kind of cook down and break down slowly. So we're going to use some of these spices and we're going to use a few others. And I'm going to put some sweetness in there as well, because obviously barbecue sauce has got to have some kind of sweetness through it. So we're going to use a little bit of honey to go through that. I'm going to get some smoky flavours to go through it as well. And probably a little bit of Worcester sauce. Not going to go too crazy with that as well.